What's up, everyone? It's Q from Retro Q Gaming, and because of my illness with the dreaded con flu I caught the other day, this actually gave me a perfect opportunity and the perfect time to create and, well, I won't say research, but to gather the experience and create this video. So why is that? Well, first off, Fallout Shelter released yesterday on Android. Now, it's been out for almost 2 months on iOS. It was announced during Bethesda's E3 conference, and it launched on iOS during that conference. And it finally came out on Android yesterday, which is the August the 13th, 2015, obviously. So I finally got around to playing it. I downloaded it. Now, because I've been sick as a dog the last few days, I've spent most of my time either in bed or laying down playing Halo 2 or Fallout Shelter, with a little bit of Final Fantasy 14 thrown in as well. Now, so over the last 30 or so hours, because I downloaded it pretty early yesterday morning, so overall that time, I've put about, I'd say probably about 5.5, maybe 6 hours into it, so I feel like I've got a good grasp of everything that was going on. So, I mean, it's not like I played it for 5 minutes and then just said, fuck it, we'll leave it at that. So, first off, before I get into what I think about it and all that, I just want to open again with this. I feel it's not a review. I feel like I don't do reviews because, you know, if you want to try a game, I feel like I probably won't sway you to try it if you don't want to try it, or to not try it if you did want to try it. So, whatever, download it, give it a try. It's free. It's free to play. You know, just go with that. But first off, before we get into that, what is Fallout Shelter? Fallout Shelter is basically, it's a mobile game, and it takes its cues from any kind of team game or simulation game. A perfect example is some of the old XCOM, if you're a fan of that. It's basically like a vault management kind of game. Now, obviously, if you've played any Fallout game, you know what a vault is like. So you're the overseer, and you get to manage your vault. You build all the different rooms, put the people in different places to maximize their individual skills and all. You give them different tasks. They have to work on resources. It's all pretty standard stuff, but in a good way and in a nice Fallout skin. Now, one thing I will say is, as I already noted, it is a free-to-play game on both platforms. There are microtransactions where you can buy what are called lunchboxes, and lunchboxes have like different cards and power-ups and stuff in them. But the nice thing about it is you can experience like 99% of the game without paying a single cent. There's no horrible wait 20 hours or pay, €5 to just skip it. There's none of that crap. Now, I say 99% of the game because, as far as I know, there are a couple of things in the actual lunchbox packs that are exclusive to lunchbox packs. Like, I think the new Mr. Handy is exclusive to the lunchbox packs, as well as a couple of other things that were probably in there before or else after. But I never bought any of the lunchboxes, so I'm not 100% sure on what else is in there that isn't earnable in the regular game. But that's basically the long and short of it anyway. That part of it is out of the way. So first, we'll move on. I was going to say first off, but I realize I've already made like 2 different points. So obviously it's a mobile game. It's compatible with anything relatively modern for iOS and Android, including phones and tablets, or an emulator if you really want. But I've been playing it on my HTC One. Now, my HTC One is slightly older. It's the older M7 edition, so I mean it's not the greatest by these standards. It's certainly no slouch by modern standards, but it's still a decent phone. Now, the screen on it is nice, but I would say it's a bit small. But I think that's just because of my opinion on mobile games. Now, before I get into it again, I'm just going to touch on mobile games. I'm not the biggest fan of mobile games. Or it's not so much that I'm not the biggest fan of mobile games, but I'm not the biggest fan of mobile gaming and touchscreen gaming. Simply because I find that it's not as intuitive, and it doesn't really work for me. I find myself not too enamored with the controls of most of the games. Now, having said that, Yes, I almost laughed while I was talking there. Having said that, I think it would be considerably better on like a tablet, a large tablet, because I mean, when I look at all the other phones that are out there and the screen sizes on them, I don't think any of them would do it justice. Even that latest iPhone with the big screen, or that Samsung, this I think it's S6 Edge. I think that is a fairly big screen. Maybe if you're rocking the Note, I think they have like a Note 3 or Note 4, and that is a pretty big screen because it's basically a phablet, so it's a phone tablet. Or you could just actually get a dedicated tablet and do it. Use your big iPad or your big tablet. Like I'll probably get a new Nvidia Shield tablet. I don't have a tablet at all, but I'll probably get one, and when they release the X1 chip version, and I'll probably play it on there. So, because of taking all that in consideration, let's talk about the actual game anyway. So the game is pretty decent. It runs pretty well on my phone. It's obviously not perfect, but it runs at what I suspect would be like 95% optimal efficiency. So game-wise, it's actually pretty decent, especially because it's a free-to-play game. So the Fallout skin on top really helps too. I'm not gonna lie, that is nice on there as well. But I feel that if you like team games or simulation and management games, definitely give it a try. Simply because it has all the the standard management sim fare in there. It also has a couple of Fallout specific, I won't say references, but Fallout specific takes on them, as well as some things that are new to like simulation management games, and as well as some things that are new to simulation management games, but can only be brought in because of the Fallout skin. So it's pretty decent. I did kind of get a bit bored towards the end. I realized I said I've played it for maybe 5 or 6 hours over the course of like a day and a half now, but it does get towards the end. Once you pick up, it's like any RTS game or any simulation management game. Once you pick everything up and you start understanding everything, and you realize you can see in your head and understand, like, well, this is this is the most efficient way to do this, and anyone with this type of skill goes here, and this type of skill goes here. I need to maintain this level of resource. I need to send X amount of people out into the wasteland to gather stuff. There's all sorts of like haphazard things that can then apply. There's invasions, raiders, and death claws are the new thing, and there's other rat roaches, and there's just general stuff that you have to deal with. And because of that, once you've experienced maybe each one of them once, and you know how to combat it, it gets pretty easy. But like I said, this is maybe 5 or 6 hours worth of gameplay before it starts doing that. And it is a free to play game, so it's 5 or 6 hours of free to play gameplay, I should say. So I mean, at the end of the day, it's not like you're spending €20 and getting 5 hours out of it. So on that aspect, It's pretty nice. It's pretty nice. I definitely recommend giving it a try, at least if you're semi-interested in it, or maybe you haven't been too interested in it, but you do like those kind of games. I definitely recommend giving it a try. Now, if you like the old Fallout games but hate simulation or management style games, it's probably not the game for you. Like I said, just because it has the Fallout skin does not make it anything like the original Fallout games. Or any of the Fallout games, actually, not just 1, 2, Tactics, 3, 4, Brotherhood of Steel, whatever you want. It doesn't make it anything like those, but it's still definitely worth giving a try if you're even somewhat interested in that kind of stuff. Performance wise, I'd say for the people out there, a lot of people have phones and tablets nowadays. I would recommend giving it a try on your tablet, simply because the bigger screen works well. The bigger screen seems like it would work really much better for it, and chances are your tablet is more powerful than your phone, or they're on par, so you're getting the bigger screen experience because of it. One thing I have to say is I do wish they'd possibly release a PC version of it on Steam. I know you can run mobile emulators on your PC, it's not the same, but excuse me, I'm still recovering. I just almost died out of nowhere there. I've staved off coughing for like 10 minutes straight, which is a record. So unfortunately, that's staying in the video. It was very minimal, but I do wish there was a PC version. Maybe if they released it on Steam or on Bethesda.net whenever that comes out. Probably going to come out for Fallout 4, I'd imagine. But whenever Bethesda.net comes out, if they'd release possibly a PC version on there, I feel that. Now, this is just from my aspect because, you know, my views on mobile gaming and touchscreen, specifically touchscreen gaming rather than just mobile gaming. But I feel that with a proper either mouse or a keyboard or a combination of both, it would be more enjoyable. It would be easier to play. It would be easier to get around and do everything. But again, that's just me. That's how I find it would be easier. Maybe it's because I just, for whatever reason, I've been using touchscreen phones for years now. I still can't grasp. I probably sound old and crotchety, but I still can't grasp an intuitive touchscreen experience. It eludes me. That's all I can say. It just eludes me. And it would be nice to see a PC version eventually down the line. It'd probably still be free because, you know, why not? Maybe release it on the Windows 10 App Store, Steam, Blizzard. I was going to say Blizzard.net, Bethesda.net, whatever. Just eventually come to a native version to PC. I'd definitely be more interested in giving it a try there. Obviously, further down the line, they're going to add more and more stuff in with subsequent patches. So I'm sure the boredom, I say boredom loosely, but I'm sure the grind, if you will, towards the end will kind of disappear and be changed for me as new stuff gets introduced. I'll probably go back and play it every time a new patch comes out, or maybe sometimes randomly when I'm bored, just to see what's changed and to see if anything can keep me going. 99.9% sure I will never buy a lunchbox because I don't do microtransactions. It's not my bag. But if you do, go ahead. You know, it's a mobile game. They're whatever. You can. It doesn't, like I said, it doesn't make or break the game. There's no 20-hour waits if you don't pay €5 or anything like that. So you're still getting 99-ish% of the game. Because I know I mentioned it earlier, but I think one or two, whatever we'll call them, power-ups or specials or cards, anything like that. I think some of them are exclusive to purchased lunchbox packs. So you can let me know all that in the comment section below if you've personally tried it anyway. I know I haven't tried the microtransactions, so I can't speak on it exactly. But you have heard one or two things. Like I know when they talked about releasing on Android, they announced that Mr. Handy would be available to buy as part of some of the packs. I didn't personally get a Mr. Handy myself, so I am going to assume he's exclusive to the purchase microtransaction packs. So that's basically it. We'll wrap it up in that case. What I thought of Fallout Shelter on Android, also available on iOS, I thought it was pretty decent. Especially, I'm a fan of that kind of game. I thought it was let down a bit by the controls, simply because it's my experience with touchscreen games. And I would like to see a PC version at some point in the future, be it a Bethesda.net or browser game or released on Steam, whatever. I'd like to see that. If you're interested in management or simulation style games, or if you liked any of the old XCOM series, definitely give it a try, because it's free. It's not going to cost you anything, and it'll only, you can probably decide whether you like it or not within about 15 minutes of playing, possibly even less. Simply because once you get through the tutorial, and the tutorial lasts for 2 minutes. So once you get through that, you actually start working, and you can understand from then. Everything starts coming in. It doesn't overflow you, or it doesn't, overburden you at the start. So you can get the grips and grasps of actually learning stuff anyway. So definitely give it a try if you're even somewhat interested in that. I personally, I hesitate to say recommend, because once again, I don't feel like I do reviews. I just give my opinion on a game, and that's basically it. So I definitely recommend giving it a try. Can't say I fully recommend a game, because it's just not what I do. But you're not missed. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So let me know in the comment section below what you think of Fallout Shelter on either iOS or Android. If you know If anything is exclusive to the purchase packs, let me know that in the comment section below as well. Let me know if you've been thinking about playing Fallout Shelter at all, and maybe this has talked you into it or talked you out of it, because I know if I heard this, I'd probably say, wow, this guy likes it. There's no way it could be any good. Oh, why did I just say that? I don't know. Anyway, let me know all that in the comment section below. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. You can follow me on Twitter. Details in the description below. Thank you for watching, and I will see you on the rest of the videos in my channel while we wait for Fallout 4. The actual Fallout 4, there's not much time to go. Thank you for watching.